Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again. This is me, Leonard Mathews, and I got my bro here, Crowe. He's in visiting for the day. We have some great content for you to share. I'm first going to share with you three questions that I really want you to think about personally, and not just like think about today or think about right now while I'm talking, but actually think about for today, for tomorrow, every single hour of your life, actually, because it's that important. Yes, it is that important. So, after that, my friend Drew has some great stuff to share with you as well. But starting off with the first question, and you can write this down if you want. I hope you're taking notes. The first question: what do you want to do in life? And that could be vacations, that could be retiring family, that could be hanging out with family, it could be giving to charity, whatever it is. Really figure out, what do you want to do in life? What are you living for? What do you enjoy? What is important to you? Because next we need to figure out, how much is that worth it? So every day we face one of the biggest fears that everyone fears in life, but most of us don't even think about it daily. Every day we get closer to it, closer and closer, and every day more people do it, some on accident and some on purpose. But most of us don't realize it. We take it for granted, and that thing is death. So really figure out what you want, those vacations that we always add to our bucket list, the family that we talk about that we love and we need to visit, we need to talk to. Really figure out how much are they worth it to you, so you can figure out how much you really need to work for, because I could be taken away as I'm making this video. But we really don't think about that. We always think, okay, I have till the end of the day at least. But that's not really true. There was once a story about a man and a woman who met at the age of 16 years old, and they were going to get married in their 30s. I think it was about 33. Everything was perfect. They had stayed a night in a hotel, separate hotels, of course. They got to this destination wedding, and right before they were going to get married, they thought it was like pre-wedding jitters, and the man started to shake. He started to get nervous, started to get sweats and stuff like that, and he died. Just randomly died. There was no problems with him at all, but he just randomly died. He never got to get married to the woman of his dreams that he had known for over 15 years, when he was right there, 33 years old and perfectly healthy. So how much is what you want worth it? How much is it worth it? And the last question, the third question, is, are you working towards that every single day? Or are some days worth it and some days not? Or some moments it's just like, it's not a good day for me. Is that true for you? I really want you to think about that. So really take those three questions. So what do you want in life? And the second question is, how much is it worth it? And the third is, are you working towards that every single day of your life? Sometimes things don't go the best, of course, but you have every single second to either live or to die, and you're choosing to do one of those every single time. So think about that the rest of this day, and I'm going to let my friend Drew really share what he has on his heart.
Absolutely. Thank you, Leonard. I'm super excited to bring you guys, a tip. Just for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Crowe. I'm 21 years old, about to be 22. Depending on when you watch this video, I may already be 22. But, so, what I'm excited to bring with you guys is a little bit of not only some stuff that I've learned from experience, in the past 2 years, building a business. I've probably learned more about myself and the world around, and just a lot of self-awareness. And I've read probably more books than I have in my entire life, to the point where I really feel like I've developed as a person, and I love sharing the information that I've learned, and that's kind of what I wanted to do here today, guys. And what I really wanted to talk about was a concept that I'm very, very passionate about, and it kind of revolves around leadership, but more importantly, I think it coincides with just how it is that you're thinking. Right, I think maybe the biggest thing that I've realized in the past 2 years is that your current life right now is literally a manifestation of your thoughts. And the crazy thing is that most people, around 97% to be exact, are so unaware of their actual thoughts that they don't realize that that's what's creating what it is that they're currently living in. Right, so my point is to hopefully bring some type of awareness to you. Right, and this is something I heard from one of my mentors. His name is Holton Bugs. He said that a thought in motion will continue in motion unless it's interrupted by an outside force. Right, I hope today, myself and Leonard hope today to be that that outside force that interrupts your current thinking. Right, and on the topic of leadership, understand that all leaders were once followers, right? Until a leader interrupted their train of thought and realized that they could be, a leader themselves. And my point in saying that is I think when it comes to leadership and when it comes to success, a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot from the get-go because they don't view themselves as a leader, right? And what I wanted to do today was to bring every single person who watches this video encouragement, right, that you can be a leader. And that the only reason that maybe you're not seeing yourself as a leader right now is completely between, you and because you choose to. As harsh as that may sound. But, how I want to kind of illustrate that is with an example. There are two creatures that God identifies himself with in the Bible. One is a lion and one is an eagle, right? You have the lion, which is the king of the animal kingdom. You have the eagle, which is obviously the king of the bird kingdom, right? And so, it was actually this guy that kind of got me to start checking into the Bible a little bit. I have not been, someone who's been necessarily religious for a lot of my life, but that's something understanding that, Jesus Christ was the best leader to ever live. And I like taking advice from people who have done, the things that I'd like to do in terms of the impact that he's created. So, like I said, I kind of started looking into that. And what it kind of made me realize was that, something that's really cool about the lion is that the lion has what, in my opinion, what's called the spirit of leadership, right? I want you guys to really think about, of the practical sense, the jungle, there's not a lot of animals. I'm sorry, the lion itself is not the biggest, right? It is not the tallest. It is not the largest. It is not the fastest. It is not the smartest, yet it's the king, right? So what does the lion do for us? Guess what? The lion eliminates every excuse you have for not being a leader, right? And like I said, that's hopefully what I'm trying to make you aware of today. But the reason I say that is because if God created us in his image, he also, that means that we could exhibit that same spirit of leadership as well, right? It's not something that is outside of your reach. And so it's his attitude, right? I want you guys to really think of this example, this analogy when it comes to the lion, right? When a lion sees an elephant, he thinks lunch, right? The elephant is bigger, stronger, heavier, right? Even more intelligent than the lion. But when the two interact, when the two meet, the lion thinks lunch and the elephant thinks predator, right? And here's what's the most important thing to realize about that. The lion then acts how he thinks, right? Here's the thing is that you've been acting how you think for your entire life, whether you've been aware of it or unaware of it, right? The elephant also acts how he thinks. Even though he is bigger, stronger, heavier, smarter, whatever, because he thinks he is lunch, he is therefore lunch, right? Going back to my initial point that some of you guys may be shooting yourself in the foot from the get-go when it comes to wanting to be successful or be a leader because you don't even view yourself that way, right? So my encouragement is to understand that there's no difference in a way between you and this lion, right? It's your attitude. It's your thoughts. And the most encouraging part, I guess, about this is that if that's not a way that you've been thinking, you can change it, right? This is not a video to make people, feel bad about maybe the way they're currently thinking. It's hopefully a video to raise awareness to the point where maybe you start to change the way you're thinking, right? You start to understand that some of these things are more in your control than maybe you even thought of, right? And your beliefs form your attitude. And here's the thing is your attitude can never go past your beliefs. Okay, when you start to form a belief about yourself, and you already have one right now, okay, you start to form a belief about yourself, the things in your life will start to change, right? And it's going to take a conscious effort on a day-to-day basis to really make that decision to form that belief, but I promise you, it's worth it. And here's the thing, when it comes to success, I think a lot of people, this is my last point, and then we'll be done, I think a lot of people have a misconstrued idea of what success is. I heard this from Earl Nightingale. And it's probably my favorite definition because, success is defined in a lot of different ways. It's probably my favorite definition of success I've ever heard. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, right? Meaning someone who is a school teacher because they want to be a school teacher, and that's literally what they want to do, that person is successful, right? Someone who wants to be a trash man because they genuinely want to be a trash man, that person is successful. Success in what I'm saying is success does not mean money, right? Money is a result. Here's what I'm saying. Focus on the person you're becoming. Okay, and this goes back to another quote I heard. The reason you want to focus on the person you're becoming is because let's say even if you were to make $1 million, right? The person you became in the process of making $1 million is far more important than $1 million itself, because at that point you've become a person that could give that $1 million away, because you become a person that could get it back, right? Focus on the person you're becoming, focus on the thoughts that you're having, and realize that it is all an internal thing, and what is external is simply a manifestation of what's going on inside. But with that, guys, I appreciate your time, and Leonard, thanks for having me on the video.
Yes, thank you guys. And like we always say, pursue excellence and cherish everyone.